Hello, my friends. Today's date is March the 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. This is a reading for you if this is your birth date, March the 17th. This is a four-card pull, a general energy card for the year to follow, a challenge you might face this year, an action to take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card. This is the general energy card of the year, and it is the Destroyer. The Destroyer is not an easy card to face. It's not an easy card to understand. It is not an easy card to process. In a lot of ways, the Destroyer says something needs to end. Something needs to be destroyed so a new creation can take place. The Destroyer card often talks about in the tower for tarot, it's a lot of the same things. Things crumble that don't support us anymore, and sometimes we have to let our lives crumble in certain ways in order for us to get the understanding that we need a different path, or we need a different focus, or we need a different understanding of what is really the thing that is supporting us and creating our foundation of truth and our foundation of being. That can happen from the physical level of actual physical destruction to, the mental level of saying, well, that doesn't work for me anymore. I can't believe in that anymore. I have to change my opinion and thereby almost certainly change my path. So the Destroyer says something big is going to happen this year, and something will be changed in your path, and something needs to be honored as a vehicle of transformation. Destruction doesn't come willy-nilly. It comes most of the time with a sense of purpose. Occasionally, 20% of our body unease is accidents, things that happen to us. 80% is mind negativity, that we keep calling mind negativity into ourselves and feed ourselves negatives and poisons and thoughts and things that feed our negative addictions, and so we keep feeding ourselves these things that start to weigh down on us and start to get heavier and heavier in our belief systems, and then in our actions, and then in our bodies. So our bodies are the last things to heal a lot of things. So this your particular challenge, is why I'm bringing all that up. Your particular challenge is the Seven of Pentacles. So what does that mean? Seven of Pentacles as a challenge. Normally, the Seven of Pentacles is a challenge card, in some ways. Sevens are the tightening of authority. Sevens are things that the law takes away, or someone takes away, or someone calls, or we have to recognize that we have to give up something. This is about Pentacles, which is about money, which is about resources, which may be about your own body, which may be about your own sense of what you're doing and practicing in your life. So on some level, maybe what you have created, and learned how to juggle, the beautiful magician juggling seven balls, maybe one of those balls needs to fall. Maybe one of those things that you focused on physically, a physical trait or a physical body part, or a physical business or a physical relationship, needs to change from something and needs to be, quote, destroyed. That sounds painful, but it probably is, to lose something that made sense to you. You lose something that made sense in a physical world to you, and drop something that you've been practicing at and persevering at for usually probably a long time. But something needs to be let go of. Your surrender, I think, is letting go of something that needs to be let go of. And I think on some level, someone else is probably taking that away from you, and maybe the calling is really more about, are you going to stand up and fight for something? I think that's almost the more valiant essence of this card. Is, there's something that's really important to you, and it's being destroyed to you, for you, by something outside of yourself. And how much power do you have, and how much ability do you have, and how much willingness do you have to step forward into some arena and fight for that? And that That is a big question, I think, that comes up in this reading. So, who is the and what is the action to take to stay in balance? Well, it's Raccoon. Raccoon is a tremendous fighter. Raccoon is a tremendous warrior. Raccoon, uh, I think, the sense that they hunt in, the strongest raccoons go out to hunt, and they get their food, and they bring the food back. They don't eat it first. They give it to the weakest, and they give it to the elderly in their group. They give it to the lessers then, who have less power, who can't go out after what they need. They give it to all those who are, quote, needing of it, and then they eat, and then the raccoons eat, and the strongest raccoon will often be the last one to eat. So the raccoons talk about service. The raccoon talks about service for others. The raccoon talks about being a valiant fighter, the sense of really powerful fighter, and a territory protector, and a scavenger of food that is needed and resources that are needed. So on some level, you're asked to be that scavenger. You can find what you need. You can find what you need to take the place of the things that are taken away from you. I think that's a powerful energy here, and I think you can stand up for what you need, and stand up in the sense of fighting for what you believe in and what you honor, and it might still be taken away from you, and you might not have that ability to save it. But if it's important enough for you, if it's important enough for you, in your higher sense of yourself, and your higher sense of your aims, and your higher sense of your sacredness, uh, are you going to go after it? Or are you going to let it go and feel bad about yourself, and feel unempowered about yourself? I think this is really about empowering yourself to go through change, and to go through pain, and to stand up for yourself, and to fight for not only yourself but a bigger picture, a wider group, a bigger understanding. And in this understanding come the understanding that destruction may happen, and destruction might take you on a really powerful reflective journey to say what's really important to you. And I think that's ultimately what is the goal here. It's like we often have to let go of things that keep us from what our true path is. And the Destroyer card comes along and says, you're not on your, quote, right path at this moment, but that path is nearby. If you just shift this one little thing, you can shift over into that next sense of who you truly are, and you can let it speak through you and act through you, and fill you up. So this is the outcome card. You'll find your way. You'll find your way, and it's going to be, I think, through the assistance of others. It's going to be through the giving to others. It's going to be through not seeing yourself as the only thing that matters. It's going to be through learning how to take destruction and make it a new creativity. And in the very least, it's going to be about finding your voice, and finding your truth, and finding your authentic purpose and goals, and living a more impassioned life, and living a more connected life, and living a more sacred life on many levels, and letting go of some of the, I want to say, trappings of being human, that might feel good, but they aren't necessarily good for you. So maybe this is a good clearinghouse time of also getting rid of old pains, obsessions, addictions, compulsions that haven't really served you much, and maybe that's something to let go of. Fighting for your power back is to take back your power from something you once gave your power to, and the raccoon can help you with that. Whether you took your own power away, or somebody else is taking your own power, that's kind of the crux of this, but it doesn't really matter. You can be valiant like Raccoon. You can face your destruction. You can rebuild something new. You can find yourself in this journey much more keen and much more precise about what you want to actually be physically creating as your sense of yourself, and your sense of your being on this earthly plane. Aho Mitakuyasan, blessed be.